right, welcome everybody. This is going to be our second episode of the new iteration, new season. Do you do season? Well,
yeah, we do.
Do season?
Yeah. So
get off my. I can't be out here getting upstaged on my own podcast.
No, don't do that.
Podcast better than. Yeah, all right. So y'all, it was good. This was Smart Enough Podcast. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Can you seasons? Talk to me about it. Teach me.
Okay. Wait, so this is your first season?
No, I've been doing this since 2017. This will be my first time.
You a pro.
This will be my first time labeling this as a season. It's gonna be like, what the fuck is the season? Is it season 4? Like, I don't.
We rolling.
There's a bunch of episodes and then season 4. Like, what are we doing? So please, like.
All right. So we just started. My business partner and I, we own a hookah company called Evie Luxury Hookah. Shout out to Nana. And first of all, my name is Evie Bernard.
No, see, now you messed. All right, fuck it. Now we're done. See, you were supposed to answer that question, and then we was gonna circle back.
Hey, I'm gonna answer that question.
No, it's too late. It's too late. No, now I gotta do it the right way and follow directions.
No. I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
So, we have a podcast, and it's gonna talk about everything: love, relationship, money, real estate, and it's called Hookah and Healing. So we are asking people come with an open heart, an open mind, and it's not some bougie show where you don't talk about anything. You're gonna put it all out there. You're gonna enjoy yourself, have fun. We have drinks, and we teach you different tips and tricks of how to spice up your hookah. So the first episode we did show Tyrone E. Wilson from the OWN network show right now, Ready to Love. We showed him how to make a pineapple hookah bowl. So that was pretty dope. And he loved it.
Very good. That's what's up. Yeah. All right. So but this is like the very first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
How are you going to know how are you going to determine the end of this season?
So I said, typically seasons have like 9 to 10. Like that is a good, it's like an album. You can't have less than 10 songs per album.
Right.
So that's what I'm kind of gauging it off of. I mean, I don't know. Right. It could be 6, like Marvel does.
Right. Right, exactly.
I be so bad at that too. I'm like, I need y'all to run it back.
Exactly. All right. Let me act. And again, I've been at this off and off 4 years.
Ain't nothing worse than a smart dumb.
Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo!
Welcome, everybody, to the Smart Enough Podcast. First season, I'm going to announce numbers. And I am joined by a very, very dope person. Just I don't, it's like I can do a whole intro, but we're gonna have a conversation. Y'all gonna see like any accolade, any affirmation, what's the other word? Like just edification. It'll be there. Like by the time this conversation is over. So I'm joined by Evie of Evisha. That's exactly why they named that 100%. She said, that part of the story you don't have to tell because I'm gonna tell it. Okay. Like, we're not forming this company unless you put my name in it. That's 100%. That was the story.
Wait, what? Wait,
that's not the story. No, I made that up. Oh, okay. Evie of Evisha. First of all, before I'm fucking with you, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I
got my little 4 miles in. I feel good, body feeling right. So I'm good.
Good deal. So we will.
More than good health.
I'm sorry.
I said you can't ask for anything more than good health. I mean.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fact. Very much a fact. Yeah. I mean that needed to be said again. So yeah, we will definitely touch on Evisha and multiple other things that you have. Your handprint, footprint. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the who is it? Who is it? Evie that has led to the only person that's danced in my interview? Somebody else has. And it was what's the
You gotta dance.
it was I can't think of it as the young lady. I'm so mad. Oh, Film Noir Film Noir Files. Yeah, it was actually other.
I always have music playing in my head.
Nice, yeah. Some other Black women podcasters. Apparently, y'all dance. Is that what we do? That's cool. So please, how did you become the person you are, or also like your upbringing, just in general, like where you from and all that type of stuff?
All right, is it my turn?
It is absolutely right. All right, you know what? And I'm muting. That's fine.
All right. I'm sorry. Because I see the little mute thing and I'm like, no. Okay, so as you said, I'm Evie Bernard. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out to my Trinis. And moved to New York City, Brooklyn when I was 5. Lived in Brooklyn and in Queens. And at the age of 18, I was like, I'm out. And decided to join the military. So I joined the Navy and I was able to tour for 2 years on a ship in San Diego. And I did 2 years in Italy, which allowed me to like travel the world, eat amazing food. And I ended up here in the DC area and I absolutely loved it. When I got out, I had no skills. I couldn't do anything. I sold Mary Kay for like 2 years. I sucked at it. And I ended up starting to work as like a data analyst person for, I don't know, whatever. But I hated that too. I was pushed into working SharePoint, and from them years later, now I am a senior software engineer and I am a SharePoint SME. So I specialize in making sites and solutions for the government. That is my 9 to 5. But during all of that time, I went through a divorce. I was married for 9 years, have 3 beautiful children. But during that time, I was broke. And I told you I didn't have much skills, but I knew that I had the entrepreneurial spirit in me and the drive to want more out of my life. Not saying if you're not an entrepreneur, you don't have more. Just put that out there. But
Not nothing.
So I ended up my mother used to make coconut oil for us growing up for our hair and everything else. And it was all the rage when people were realizing, oh my gosh, coconut oil is everything. Like we should have been using this years ago, right. But we have been using it years ago. So I started to make coconut oil, and I'm talking about in my garage, breaking coconuts, like by the bundle. I was making a ton of coconut oil fresh, selling it. I was giving to friends, and I was like, this is still not what I need for my skin. I suffer with eczema. My daughter suffered with eczema, and it ended up going into, I did a lot of research on how to create or what natural products are good for our skin. Mm-hmm. And when I realized that 60% of all the toxins that go into our body comes actually from our skin, it goes directly into our bloodstream. I was like, yeah, so I need to go ahead and make sure that I come up with a holistic solution. Sure. And that's when OBE Naturals was born. And I have my best product, my most famous product is the shea coconut butter, and I have it in different scents. It's amazing. I have stuff for women, men, kids, and I have about almost 40,000 followers on Instagram. I have given my butters to celebrities. They have, people have bought it. I like the other day was I don't know if you ever heard of the Walls group. It's like a gospel group, but somebody from there commented on one. Okay. It's really good. It's really good. I'm very excited.
As you should. All right. So OBE Naturals.
OBE Naturals.
So I gotta stop you. I mean, first of all, shout out to all the accomplishments. Shout out to God knowing your work and sending his angel down to comment to you and be like, yo, this is amazing. Do you remember what they said?
It was like a generic comment, so it could have been a bot for them. I don't know.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter though.
It was like I saw the blue check and I was like,
yeah. Even if it was the intern, right? Even if it was a Russian bot, it still looked like it came from them. So we're gonna count it. Was it like a verified account?
It wasn't verified.
Oh, okay, well then yeah. So you good. So you good. So shout out to you because I don't have none of that. I don't have none of that at all. So since we are OBE Naturals, when did it start? Like, what was the year that it started?
The year, let me think. I don't even remember now. It might have been 2016, 17.
Okay, okay, cool.
So actually, it was 16.
All right.
Yeah. Before that, I was doing makeup and photography, so I'm still doing that, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you are for sure. So we will. Yeah, we'll test those. So it was. That was the years that it was the coconut oil. Your mother's doing that.
The coconut oil year, that was like 2014 ish, and it just kind of evolved. And then the official, OBE Naturals, that was like around 2016. Like I took it to New Orleans and everything for Essence.
Nice. Okay. Very good. Okay. So yeah, that's like I love to hear that. Like what kind of motivates. So do you remember what made your mom be like, I'm gonna make those products, do that? Well,
so my mom didn't make products; she just made the coconut oil.
That's what I meant.
Oh yeah.
What made her do that?
They've been making it for centuries.
Okay.
Like it's just been passed down. And anytime we have a cold or we getting our hair pressed, fried dye laid to the side, that's what was used. And coconut oil, if you have a cold, it pulls all the mucus down. Did you know that? Like it really clears.
I know about the oil pull for the teeth, so it doesn't. So it makes sense. Right.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah. So that is that was what she really used it for.
Okay. So, but yeah, basically low key that I don't know, combination of get it done yourself, apply natural, that's something that's been in, culturally relevant for you. And then when trying to figure out what you're going to do to keep the lights on, that was one of those things you tried.
Yeah, because, people didn't know or still don't really know about keeping the lights on, how many times the lights went off, how many times the water went off.
Oh, yeah, that, right. Now, well, I don't want to say tell us all of the times, but I think that's a very important point to make is and a point that you have made with me is we'll get on these, you got your social media, that's something we got to talk about too. We'll get on social media, we tell these stories, people see, the filtered picture, the glitz and the glamour, but it's that's not every minute of every hour of every day.
Not at all. Not at all.
There was some years that didn't even happen. So please.
And even nowadays, it's still very rocky at times. Yeah. But no, back in the day, I was a single mom. So my kid's dad had moved away, and first of all, divorce in itself is going to give you about 300 less points on your credit report. Right. So you're dealing with that, and then he moved away. And there was no real child support coming in or anything. So 3 toddlers, and mind you, daycare was $400 to $450 a week.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, and on the salary that I was making, that was nothing. Mm-hmm. And but I had to do that so that I could go to work. Right. But it was that nights when they go ahead and eat, but I'll have to figure it out tomorrow or whatever. I used to be real skinty back.
Not my choice,
but not my choice. But no, it was a lot of struggles. Car getting repossessed a couple times. But it drove me to keep going, keep striving, keep building. and realizing that I really do have a purpose in my life, and not just to get up, go to work, take them to school, this and that. Like, that wasn't it for me. God really has something still to this day, great for me to do. So working my way to that.
Awesome. So I think, and that's also where touch. It's funny, like, yeah. And I told you this was going to be kind of free flowing, and like that is a big integral part for you. So talk about religion,
Yeah.
and just mainly in the context of how that shaped you feeling your purpose, like in life and professionally and all that stuff.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting point. So if I'm talking about like when I was struggling and all that stuff, there were times that I was angry with God because I was like, this wasn't supposed to be my life. This is not what we had planned. You know what I'm saying? I did it right and kind of let me down. And so I was very upset with him. I was broken. I was getting out of a marriage that was very, very toxic for a lot of different reasons. And I didn't hold on to my spirituality at that time. But then when I realized that, okay, you had to go through this, Evie. Like, I had to go through this to get a better understanding of life. I was very naive. I was very closed-minded, and God had to kind of like, all right, this is what the real world is, boo. Now I want you to learn and, take your lessons and build something great with that. It's, the beauty from ashes type of situation. I hold on to God because I know I trust him. Let me just say that I trust him. I've had a lot of situations, even up to recently, where I'm like, ain't no way God didn't show me that. Like, ain't no way. Because
I didn't do that. Right.
The events, how they flow is like, that you wanted me to see that, right? You wanted me to do that. You wanted this to happen or whatever. So I think it boils down to, I really trust God, and I trust that through all that I go through is for a purpose. So that's what I hold on to.
Oh, that's what's up. I'm glad. Yeah, that needed to be touched on. Like, I know there's, I have variety in the people I talk to in my friend circle, but like, quite a few of them are religious. So you're not like the religious guest. I still associate with Christianity. I think that's important. I feel like getting that on record, because I still cuss. Yeah, people, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm doing it.
Right, like people hear that all the time. I feel like, but it's like, now let's not get that twisted. And so, that is interesting to hear you tell that on your story, because I can absolutely relate. Probably one of my favorite podcasts back in season 1, which lasted from 2017 to 2 months ago, was
Bless your heart.
was just a real I guess a couple of them were like just me opening, be very transparent, but I think one was particularly like my corporate America history problems and challenges or whatever, and I actually plan to do a version 2 of that or whatever. But this wasn't, I went to school and then I got it was it was all over the place.
A roller coaster.
Yeah, so it's dope for you, to share that yourself. So, so again, in that context, I think that's beautiful. You see, God is moving you towards your purpose, your purposes, and that seems to be manifesting in multiple ways in which you are providing services and products and all that type of stuff.
Can I say one more thing? I want to. During all of that time, I had to be a mother, right? And I think people see me now, and we talked about this offline, but it was like people think I'm perfect. Oh my gosh, you're the perfect mother. They didn't know. Let me see. Are they? They're not looking.
Yeah, they think so too. They think you're perfect too.
I don't know how it was when we were toddlers. when they were toddlers.
Right,
But no, I suffered with postpartum depression for pretty much all of my pregnancy or after I had my babies.
Wow.
And at one point I wanted to throw like my son off of the banister. You know, I was so frustrated. I wanted to be a mom so bad, but I didn't want to be a mom so bad. It was it was very confusing. My brain was in a disarray and I was tired. And what I had to do was actually bring in a family therapist. And we worked with her for years, for a good couple years, and still talk to her to this day, but to help me work through those issues and help me work through how to discipline my children and how to, you know, all kinds of things. And that, you know, along with prayer and punishment and all that other stuff, they're great kids, but I'm also a great mother because I had those things that happened before.
Right.
Like a much better mother.
Right. It's not right. So it's not just because you get to say it because you put in work to where you are. It didn't just show up. It wasn't just, oh, it's Evie, let's just deposit great mom into her forehead as my child literally walks in. Is this scripted? But no, absolutely. I think again that comes back to the point. People gonna miss it mainly because they don't like people that don't like you hate me. So they definitely not gonna watch this. But like, no, it's very important. Like, and I love like that the people I rock with have no problem saying, no, please trust me. There's a whole nother side as well that I don't, you know, that I'm not gonna tell you every single thing, but like I'll give you the synopsis, like, no, it was not, again, roller coaster, rock road, all that type of stuff. So definitely, you know,
I just don't understand how people sit and look at other people and say, oh my gosh, their life is so great. Oh my gosh, their life is so perfect. I'll be looking, how could you think that?
Yeah,
we're all human. So we all at some point are going to face some kind of trial.
Right. Yeah, people be asking to walk in a mile in the wrong shoes all the time because they look at the endpoint. Listen. You don't want that.
They be wanting people that sold their souls to the devil.
Right. If I could just live that life, do you want to? So,
right.
So, all right. So we have touched on OBE Natural so far. You still do makeup.
I started it back because I had stopped for a good 2 years.
Okay. What was motivating?
Excuse me. And when I say stopped, I mean there were like a couple of reoccurring clients that they were just like, please, Evie, and I'm like, okay. But you know, I wasn't like promoting it, I wasn't marketing it, nothing like that. But I stopped because OBE Naturals and Avisha was kicking off. And, you know, every business is like a new baby every time you birth it. So I had to give extra attention to Avisha, and I started a new job, and it was COVID. That was another thing. Like I couldn't do makeup because of COVID. And when I started back, I had to learn a lot of techniques on how to maintain the word slipping out of my mind. How to keep everything sanitized.
There you go. Okay. I know what word you use. I can't help you.
How to keep everything sanitized and, you know, COVID clean and all that stuff. So it was a lot. And but now I'm back.
So all right. So the makeup and the reason I'm asking is like, you're not like you know. The entrepreneur mind is not, I'm going to, like you said, wake up, show up, go do this work, come home. Like the entrepreneur mind is, what if I do that? What if I do this? What if I do that? So just kind of, you know, like, what, you know, and you already kind of touched on like what made you put this one aside and bring that back up just in general.
So you mean like put aside the makeup?
Well, no, like you already know. I'm gonna ask a question for you later. I'm just saying, basically, you kind of gave a brief breakdown, at least for the makeup. So it went away because some other projects came up that needed brand new attention. It came back because not even apparently, you're good at what you do, and some people weren't trying to hear you say, "I'm done with that."
Yeah, they weren't. That I think that's the biggest thing. I was getting pinged all the time. when somebody put a post up, hey, I'm looking for a makeup artist, and it was like, I don't do it anymore, guys. Y'all keep seeing me, and I'm not doing it. And then finally, I was like, why am I not doing it?
Right.
And you know, it comes with a lot of practice. I just started practicing, and I was like, let me just dive in and go right back to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
But the entrepreneur mind is always going, like always going.
Yeah. Yes. So how do you? It's not a bad thing. It's just got to be controlled. So how do you know when to not just say, okay, here's my next idea, throw everything away, let's do that. Yeah, let me. That's
a great question. So in my mind, okay, I usually get a good night's sleep now. I, you know, bring my brain down, get a good night's sleep. But there are those times, I would say at least 3 or 4 times a month, when I wake up in the middle of the night, usually around 2, 3, and I'm like, man, this ain't right. And I'll pray. And sometimes after I'm finished praying or whatever, and even if I'm not, but an idea, that's like when all the ideas start rushing in, right? And I would say I get about 3 or 4 solid ideas a month, including inventions. Oh wait, I forgot I did it. There was one I didn't write down, so I was trying.
I mean, but I know how to edit. Do I need to pause?
No, you're good. You're good. So with those, there's those 4. Out of that, or out of whatever one is like really, it's usually one that's been burning for about a good week. I'm like, man, I cannot stop thinking about this, right? It could be like this, that. So then what I do is I start to analyze it. I do my market research on whatever that thing is. And if it's 2 or 3 ideas, okay, I'll sit there and I'll give it a good about 4 or 5 hours, and I'll just market research, like start to plug in the numbers. How much do I need to do this to get that? Da, da, da. So it's like a whole thing. And then my brain is like, and then from that, I would be like, okay, well, you know what? It's not really that worth it, you know?
Sure.
And usually out of all of those processes, out of all those ideas, I'll get one solid, maybe every year and a half.
Okay.
Solid. And that's after market research. That's after looking into whether it's supplies, whether it's, you know, will people buy this, buy that. And then even after that, like I started the clothing line, and I'm going to shut that one down. And it's been maybe not a year, but a good few months. But I realized it just wasn't, for right now, for how I need it to be. It's not where I'm not ready yet. I thought I was, but I'm not. And so, but I do a lot of research when I have these ideas before I even pull the trigger.
Right. No,
Avisha came along because of that. Like I thought about it because I love hookah. I was like, man, I could be doing, you know, like always do something that you love too.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, or else it's gonna suck. But anyway, yeah, I started to think about. I talked to different people. I started to write down numbers. How many hookahs do I need to buy? What kind of supplies do I need? I still have, I think, the spreadsheets from 2019. And then about a month into it, now mind you, I heard asked a couple of people, do you want to join with me? Do you want to join with me? They did not. They were like, well, you know, then no, I need somebody that's hot-headed and impulsive like me.
All right. I like this segue. I like this segue. I was like, oh, I like where this is going.
So, and I when I reached out to her, I had the logo and everything. I was like, you know, talking to her about it. And I was like, what do you think about this idea? Da, 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 da. And it was like 3:00 in the morning again. And we were on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger. And I said, I know this is, I said, you know, and we still have this message up to this day, but I was like, I really think that I would love for you to go in on it with me, because I just think we would be great. We have a lot of the same ideas. And she was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking of asking you about, because she has her drinks, you know, her bartender. and she was thinking of, asking to do this with me, like to join companies. And I was like, okay, this will be phenomenal. And that's when the partnership started.
Yeah.
We it's been great, but that's how my ideas come along. And I'm looking more so into more partnerships because I really do enjoy mine. But a good partner is hard. I have been blessed with her. Even though we're extremely different in our own lives, when it comes to business, we're very similar. And it's just been a match made in heaven, But so I'm looking for more partners to like flip homes and stuff.
Okay. There you go. Just throwing it out there. There you go. I like that. So, all right. Yeah, I think, and that was one thing big shout out to Nina. I really enjoyed that episode. Like, she definitely, was as transparent and, and really, and, this is like all of my guests. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying it because I have to, but since y'all are partners, I'm referencing both of you. But, really giving people, again, it's not perfect, but also giving like a lot of free game that I think some people, it's all about, season and all that type of stuff. Like, neither one of y'all are sharing anything revolutionary, but I think both of you are going to be that person that somebody, this was finally the time they needed to hear it. Right. And they might even go back and be like, damn, whoever has been saying this, but for some reason, when I heard it from Evie, like, that was the right season for me to hear it, and I got it, and I'm going, and I'm taking that piece and going forward. You feel me? Like, and I think
I would say
that was us too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, some of the lessons you have now, like, somebody told you that in 2003, right? But it just,
I'm gonna say this. I mean, not really.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's funny you say that.
Okay.
Because if I would have listened to people, I would have been I probably would have been a full-blown government worker. Government.
Yes.
And maybe I would have had my makeup. But that's if I would have listened to people. Because remember, single mom, a lot of times people are like, oh, but what about your kids? What about the kids? Everything has to be about your kids. No. I don't believe in that. I believe you need to have your own life, because if you don't, you're going to be unhappy. And guess who's going to pay for that? The kids. They're going to suffer tremendously if mommy is miserable, and mommy's going to be miserable if she's not living her purpose.
Yeah. Said that. No, I'm glad you said that. That's a very good point. There's the caveat. If there's good information, but it's got to be at the good timing for you to actually receive it. But then there's terrible information. There's never a good time to see it. We kind of wish you wouldn't say. But even that, like, there's a lesson from that. A lesson from, and because those people swear they know. You know what I'm saying? They got it convinced that they got the answer. And then those people can be some of the closest friends, the tightest family. And it's like, I know
you don't mean any harm.
You mean well, and that still isn't good. That still does not mean, because you have good intentions, that I need to listen to it.
And initially, I did listen, but it was very temporary because of the burning. I talked about this burning because I had it, and I was like, I cannot. Y'all could try to turn it off for anybody. I can't turn it off, and I'm not going to turn it off. So that's what I was just like. Okay, I hear you, but and then I'll just go do whatever it is I need to do.
Right. So even coming back to, like, did you have to develop the rebel and renegade? It's so extreme, but did you have to develop, like, no, like, I know this is what I need to.
No, I didn't do that. Because they didn't mean harm, and for me to tell them, this is just how I would do it, but. I didn't say, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. I just said, thank you for your, for your support, because that's what they think they're doing.
Right.
And I appreciate that they think, or that they're trying to do something good for me, even though it may not be. This is when you have to allow God to really be doing the talking, and not necessarily everybody else.
I feel you. But even, and so then coming, like, re-asking that one, like, did you growing up, did you feel like, well, if other people, outside of the times you were forced to, because that's the rules, but like, did you used to have a personality that was like, well, they're saying this, so I should, or do you always feel like you've been like, nah, if I ain't going for it, I ain't going for it?
Yeah. How much time you got left? Because that's all. So in the childhood realm, let me sit back. No kidding. So let me put it like this. I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet. I grew up in a West Indian home. I'm Trinidadian.
Yeah.
My father was Trinidadian. My mother is Antiguan, right? Both pastors.
Oh,
and in the Caribbean, you have 5 occupations. And I feel like I've been talking about this in every podcast, but you have 5 occupations that you need to do in order to be a successful Caribbean child.
Okay.
A teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, a preacher. Wait, a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher.
All right, that's cool. So
and
go
a
listen
pastor.
to the other. I was about to say, go listen to the other podcast where she ran off just fine.
Those are it. You do those 5, and you have lived your Caribbean life, working for the man.
Like
the American dream.
That's so okay, because I asked, because that me, like, that's another thing people see me now, like, nah, like the reason I am like I am now is because I used to run around like, oh, they said I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I noticed that was a load of every word y'all can think of. And it's like, no, like this need to make sense to me and the people that I actually need to listen to, and that's what I'm saying, that's it. So okay, just curious, from your perspective.
No, but I was a rebel. I was considered the rebel, the black sheep. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm going to the military so I can do bye, y'all.
Got it. Okay, interesting. Now, even briefly, just a couple. First of all, this is not far off from Veterans Day, so thank you for your service as well. What I love that story on the military. What is your 1-minute speech like? What was that experience like? What is it like? How do you see it now? What kind of regard do you hold it in now that you're on the other side?
So now that I've been out for so many years, I gotta say, the military was one of the best things that did happen to me. And people might knock it or whatever, but I'm going to focus on the positive. And there were a lot of positives. So for instance, I was able to travel the world. I've been to this December, I will have been to 30 countries in my life. Wow. And I'm trying to make it 50 by 50. And so the military was allowed me to do it. I've been to Australia. I went to Sydney Opera House in a ball game. Like, you know what I mean? Like people, this is huge for me. Also, I was able to open up to different cultures and different races. Like I was in Brooklyn and Queens. It was either West Indian or black, or Italian, or, but it was very, and what else? Oh,
New York is just big enough that some people are like, I went on a road trip to Bronx.
Man, okay.
Went on to Long Island and they're like, and let me get right back. So that's important.
So it allowed, I found love then, and I was able to get married and live that life and have 3 beautiful children. Wouldn't have had that if I didn't, if I wasn't in San Diego at that right time. What else? It's just a lot of, I have a lot of opportunities. I don't have my college degree. So everywhere I'm making 6 figures and I don't have a degree. And, I'm making more money than people with 10 degrees. But I believe that because I have that military background, along with my experience, I'm able to get my foot in the door. So I'm not gonna sit here and I've just learned a lot of structure, and I also learned what I don't want. So I don't want to keep taking orders from somebody. Right. So it's taught me a lot, and you're not gonna catch me really not in the military.
Gotcha.
Maybe years ago, but not now.
Okay. No, fair. All right. So, okay. So OBE, makeup, Avisha, we kind of backdoored into, you know, that story in particular. Like, what else? What are some of the us? There's only 3. There's 24 other ones.
Don't
So, like,
you just tried it, but it's okay.
Brenda, Keisha, Alicia, Don, Rachel, like it, whatever. That's fine. So it's not 27. It's 19. So what else? But like, this is
it's OBE Naturals. Only by Evie, makeup and photography, Avisha. I work as a website developer. And also I do events. I do love doing events. So I'm not gonna call myself an event planner, but I have a very successful annual luau, and I do a lot of other different events. I have an upcoming charcuterie board party, so people have to come and bring different types of charcuterie boards, and everybody's very excited about it. So I try to bring events that are fun and a little different, and just come and have a good time at it. Like, you know what I mean? Just have a blast. I got to a cabin.
I actually never knew how to pronounce charcuterie, and I'm gonna just trust you because I don't think I've ever heard the word. I know I see it.
Board.
Right, exactly. Right. I've seen the word spelled. I've seen that. You know, that's literally a meme. I've seen that joke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I actually said it in my head when you said it. But yeah, I've actually never. So that's interesting. You know, speaking like I said, that's effort. Like I don't know. I know what it is. I don't care how it's pronounced. Okay. I'm not making it.
Yeah.
I probably will.
There's that.
Yeah.
I do want to add real estate to my repertoire here. Like I want to buy and flip homes, and I want to that's one of the next big goals for me.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay.
I can't see you at this point. I feel
cannot see me at all. That's you.
See you.
I feel like you did this on purpose because I see that I can be seen. Okay. So since we're doing this, if anybody who has successfully, you know, so if anybody is licensed in LASIK or PRK and spelling philanthropic, like, you know, get in some with her, she can give you some of her services. You can, you know, discount her because the young lady can't see at all. Like, so I got the blur background, and I think that's what you.
But it's really messing me up. I'm like, is he blurry? Is he not?
And we were trying real hard, but apparently you wanted everybody to know that you're blind. So now we have put that out there. Congratulations.
Also, what's fun that I do a lot of voices.
Okay, and you
sounds bad when I say it.
Yeah, that was terrible. That's okay. I got you. I'm gonna clean. I'm not. This is gonna sound exactly like that. I don't know why you said that. You had all this time to practice.
I do voices.
You went with, I'm crazy. That's not. All right.
I'm saying I can do voices, sounds.
Okay.
You know.
Are we putting you on the spot? What are we doing?
I could do a really good British accent.
Okay, there you go. That's one. Oh, that's one. That's cool. It's up to you. That's good. All right, cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, just one. One. I have others, but you ain't.
Yeah. Okay, we just right. Now I'm with it because I'm not paying for nothing. Like that was just whatever you was gonna offer. So, but speaking of, and that's why I kept you listed things you do. You are a professional TikToker. You are.
Oh yes, I am.
Yeah. So there's that.
Go ahead. Oh, TikTok. Yes, I love TikTok. I'll be on there all the time. I have to edit the one that I did, but I do enjoy it. Like I'll sit in my bed and I'll practice. Yeah, this is the line, and this is NQ. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
So talk about that. Like how? At what point did you say, nah, I'm gonna do this? Because you're all the way in now. People like the way you look like you were in the board that was making the app. Like at this point, you are in there. You'll get on Instagram and post 7 stories of TikTok that you enjoyed, and then also you are actually doing it. So yeah, speak on that.
Yeah. It's hilarious. I don't know. Like that's the bottom. When I am honestly feeling like down or just like blah.
Yeah.
And I'm just scrolling through TikTok in my bed. I'm like, I am cracking myself up. And trust me, I have like 20 TikToks that I really want to do, but they're a little bit complicated. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love. It's just funny. So I like to laugh. I have a sense of humor, and I'm goofy as ever. So.
Yep. No, and part of the reason I bring that up, I'm like in the next 2 months, I'm gonna finally jump in, and I feel like once I crack, I ain't gonna know when it's y'all gonna be like,
you about to do a TikTok?
Yeah.
That's Kevin Hart. I'm gonna do a TikTok.
You know what helped though is so funny is I had this situation with Facebook that was the last straw. And so, now that I'm saying this, I keep telling people, I'm like, y'all hold me to it. If I'm a liar, like that's the one thing I don't want to be. So if I'm not holding myself to it, I'm off Facebook at the end of 2021. I'm off.
Where you gonna be?
Everywhere else, including Instagram, even though they own.
So why did they put you in jail?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Now the thing about it is, I deserved every single other time that I've ever been. Like, let's be very clear. Every single other time, which means more than one time. Every single time. No. You like I didn't say none of those things to you. You're a very nice person. I would never talk to you like that. However, the things that I have said, they're good with, they'll leave the trail for you. Like, well, you said this in April and this. I was like, I damn sure did, didn't I? That dude was wilding. I said, and I quote, and I quote, shut the hell up, elephant.
Huh?
Right. If anybody wants to, and I said, if anybody would like to tell me, here's what's funny. I have no idea what I posted that on. No idea. I cannot remember the context at all.
Oh my gosh.
It was like 7:45. I was out on the road. I posted it, put the phone down, went and did whatever I did. Came home, went to do, check, with my last, at the end of the night. And they were like, yeah, you can't talk for 30 days.
Dang.
Right?
They put you on punishment,
right? So then they say, like, this is the thing you said, but they don't have no link to be like, and this is where you said it.
Yeah, so, like, what's the context?
Yeah, and I'll be wilding so hard.
And you don't remember seeing
I don't. I say so many. You can't relate to that? Like, that's
when I see your Facebook, though, I don't see anything bad.
That's so good. I like that. Keep those glasses on when you look at my Facebook. No, don't go looking for. Don't go for that. I mean, at this point, you got a month and a half because I am deleting that shit. And I'm gonna be petty and write them and tell them to delete all my data, like whatever their policy is. They need to delete. Yeah, because
are you gonna download all? You don't really post pictures though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Are you gonna download them all? Because you could download. Like I downloaded all of them from like two.
Yeah, actually I will because
it's in my Dropbox.
There's no telling what.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I might shock myself. Like, oh yeah, that's crazy. Like, so yeah, I will do that. But like, as much as their policy says that they will scrub my data, they need to, because my thing is, you are now like my father, but you're making money off of me. You can't do actually, I guess that's how my father works. But like, you can't be my police officer, but also gladly use my stuff to advance, your agenda, and then the whole policing thing that you do is real convenient as to which races and genders benefit.
Oh yeah, because I done seen some white people post stuff, and I'm like,
way worse than shut the hell up, elephant.
Yeah, way worse. I post stuff worse than that.
Yeah, I post too. That's
what's crazy? I've never been in Facebook jail.
That's actually that is. Yeah.
I said a lot.
Because I was gonna be like, because they be targeting Black women like a lot. They go hard on the paint, and that's like all the social media. But anyway, so I'm done with them. When you said Facebook earlier, I was like, we don't say that word right here, but whatever, I said that word too. So yeah, I literally will be on damn near every other social media. I just haven't messed with Snapchat. I don't see.
So I like their filters, but I don't really mess with Snapchat like that either. I don't see the
right. I don't see what it do for me. Like TikTok, I can find use in it. Instagram has been my go-to. So even though like Facebook owns Instagram, that's what's funny. I always get in trouble on Facebook. they have never then gone over to Instagram and been like, nah, you can't post there too. And yes, I don't link them directly, but I know they can find like
right.
I'm in IT, you're in IT, like they can connect, make those connections. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, all right with them, Twitter's still good with me.
I said, all right, IT.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, very interesting new job. We're not talking about none of that. So yeah, so but it's like but these days I'm really honing in on using social media with a purpose. And I like you to speak on that because we talked about it. I want you to reiterate, like, so how do you, and because you don't do this perfectly, so how can you work on utilizing it for what it needs to be used for and cutting out the fat? I mean, if you want to be entertained, that's cool, but the stuff you really don't want to deal with but find yourself sucked in, how do you?
So let me throw this in there. I am now, if you want to call it, I guess I am an influencer. So
yeah, you are.
Title.
Yeah, no, you're not kind of. You are. Go ahead.
I'm embracing it slowly, but I've been doing it for so long. I'm like, okay, y'all gonna start paying me now.
Right.
So with that, it takes a lot of content, right? So you kind of do have to have some of the fluff, only because what I notice is that when I am only posting about products or when I'm only posting about events, people, they're like, okay, cool. And this kind of gets brushed off. Now you have to mix in some in your personal life if you're trying to build a brand, because it's almost like people need to know that you're a real human, that you have real problems. And I slip up from time to time, but in general, whatever I do put out on social media, is basically things that I don't care if the world sees.
Sure.
So there's certain things of my life, like people think that because I have so much content on there and I'm always talking about something, they think that they know exactly what's going on in my life. And I'm like, if y'all only know.
Not how that works. That's not how that works. But you won't though. Let's be clear.
But I want, and there have been a couple, like I actually had a slip up this week because it was weird. I was like, yeah, I did not like it. And I took it down. But it's, for the most part, you got to add the meat to the bone. You can't
let me jump in though. No, that's not the fat. Even if we're doing the nutrition, that's the healthy fat. So no, everything can't just be, all business or all motivational quotes. But no, not the, here's my silly side, but no, that just cesspool BS stuff. Like if you're on social media and you're not intentional, you can fall into the rabbit hole of, DMV Facebook group drama or arguing about Trump or these really don't serve no purpose. Those two do. So that's like, how do you?
And I used to fall in that. But I mean, you have to set boundaries, you know what I'm saying? So know your limit and know when it starts to become entertaining into now toxic.
Right.
Because anything can become a drug, right? And that includes social media. I've had to purge myself from social media many times, probably got to do it again. But if you start to see yourself walking away from a thread completely angry or like, oh my gosh, or it takes over your whole day, you're probably doing too much on it. So that's when I know that it's time to chill, or it's time to take down posts, or it's time to remove people or anything.
So this is gonna be a little segue. The reason that it's easier for me to say, although like it's crazy, that's the most I'm like 1,700 followers, friends. And that by far is my biggest, like I'm getting there. I'm not getting there. I'm nowhere close on Instagram, but Instagram is the second most like I'm active and people are paying attention. But Facebook has been number one clear and far. However, Facebook is not a direct revenue source. So that's what makes it easier for me to step away. Like, it's not, the cost benefit and plus the pluses are not weighing the
advertising.
Yeah. What do you mean?
That like if you advertise, like
Like
I advertise
paid?
on,
Or you're just saying you're like the organic or the actual like spending the bucks. Which one are you?
both.
Okay.
Both. So like if I'm having an event, it's easy for me to just click on everybody.
Yeah.
And I'll get a whole bunch of tickets.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Okay.
me, it helps me in that way.
Right. What I'm saying, no, it's very useful. What I'm saying is I never took advantage of it. And so the two options were finally figure out how to do it or just don't mess with them at all. Right. So it's not like it's got, and so again, that's me. And I'm not, and that's one thing I kept making that, to myself. Did you ever watch Half Baked?
I think I did.
You don't really, you don't remember because
I have the worst. Can I just say I have the worst memory ever?
Okay.
Like I'm just gonna put it. So you're probably gonna tell me your birthday 17 times. So I don't.
That's fine. That's fine. There was a scene there where he had the
When's my birthday?
Which one? Oh, I don't remember the birthday.
Go ahead.
I don't.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't even remember.
Oh, you don't. That's hilarious.
Remember my own.
I know it's coming.
No. I don't worry about that.
So there was, he had he had the last straw and he's like, I'm out, who's with me? And he looked at nobody, was like, that ain't gonna do with me. So I'm not like, everybody do whatever social media works for you. I'm done. So, but the segue is, like, what are the, maybe they're all of them. What are the social media sites that are benefiting you as a businesswoman?
That are benefiting me as a business. Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
They are benefiting me a lot. I'm able to, so TikTok is cool, but it doesn't benefit my business. It benefits more me being an influencer.
Got it.
Which eventually I will turn that into a business. But for right now, I'm just kind of building it up.
Sure.
And it's still, if you want to call the testing phase, like, can I really build the brand off of it? And what's helpful is that people would continue to see who I am, and anything that I touch, they'll be like, okay, I want to be a part of that. So that helps. But I think right now, Facebook and Instagram have really helped me out significantly.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I say that, so it's like, all of them can, right? So it's just like, and I think that's important for people, because I feel like some people, just because Facebook is probably still by far the best route for people act like it's required.
Right.
Now, if you desire to figure it out, again, more power to you. Go figure that out. Go be the best. But like this whole thing, like the magical 10,000 follower rule and some of these other sites, like you actually don't need to get 10,000 followers. It's just, here is a roadmap for how to do it, and it starts with that. The same, Twitch. It starts with getting partnered and all that, and then but it's like, no. What some people out there, only a few small percentage of people, but like, what if you study that roadmap, then figure out how to replicate it? You know what I'm saying? So, okay, we'll keep it simple. Podcast revenue, right? If you get a certain number of listeners and you convince a organization to, to then like, they now know, okay, we know we're getting 150,000 listeners, so when we play this, we'll pay you this amount. You don't have to wait till then. That's the moment where they come to you. Right. There's a world in which somebody packages and markets and comes up with a strategy, goes out proactively, hollers at the homie, reaches out to a business that they already working with. This all sounds good. I haven't done none of this shit yet, but I plan to. And I'm saying I don't have to wait until I have 1 million people that listen to me on Spotify.
No, you ain't gotta wait for it. But
there's ease, of course. There's how you make the door more accessible. But this whole, I'm not doing none of it till I get here and now I go.
Oh, really? People, how do they even get there then?
By paying for followers.
Okay.
Or paying for the program.
It's funny you say that because I was looking at someone's Instagram's page that I have seen many times before, and it was they didn't even have, I don't think, even 3,000 followers.
Okay.
I don't even think that, right? And today I look and it's over 200K. So then I'm like, and you know, I get it about the buying, although that's not really the best practice, but whatever, it's whatever.
It is one.
Then I'm like, if you got that many followers on it kind of looks stupid when there's only like 70 people that liked a picture. Because it's like, well, what happened to the other, 100 and such and such and so I can't do it. But where did all those people go?
Right. Nah,
I think you have to be careful with that and like rushing to get to that place. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
I have almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
And it was I was doing hair on there, like the crochet braids, and it just kind of kicked off, and I just keep posting things.
Yeah. No, it's like, the buying follow. I mean, I'm gonna say it's weird again, but that's me. It's viable, but it can be akin to getting the surgery, on your own body and not planning the maintenance part of it. Yes. That's not a thing you just do once. So if if you bought a program that doesn't then have said followers like your shit, then that's terrible. If you have 200,000 followers and you have 72 likes, if you have 240 likes, if you have 780 likes, that's 200,000 people that apparently
you need to be in the thousands and thousands,
easy.
Tens of thousands.
Easy. So it's like, but that wasn't thought of. That wasn't the plan.
I know it looked like the person started buying likes too, because it was the same amount of likes on like the last 10 pictures. And I was like, so the same 1,046 people are
not messing with you. That's a bad play.
I hope they see this and catch all the shade.
All right, that's a bad play. I'm gonna ask you what it is after the fact. That's very. So I'm glad. I'm glad those two was touched on. So we are close. Like I said, I already know. One, I didn't help nothing. I took us off the rails so many times. Whatever it is.
Part one.
This is 100% part one. You know what I mean? But we so we'll get to like one or two more topics and then close for now.
Okay.
But you being a world-class podcast host that has celebrities as your guest, I'm gonna let you.
We did have celebrities.
Yeah. Thank you. Right. You see how you was like, that's not true. Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is. I did do that, didn't I? Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll let you like one or two kind of things we can kind of touch on it, move down that path, and then we'll table it to the next one. So we talked about what was potentially on the table. What's next? What are we talking about?
What's next is to launch our shisha line. So we have so far 5 amazing shisha flavors that you would not find anywhere else, but it's only with Evie.
Nice.
Yeah, that. I plan on having some more sales with OBE Naturals because I have a sale coming up on Friday, but I plan on having one more end of year sale. As far as the influencer aspect, I do want to do more YouTube videos and some more TikToks. I'm still on my traveling kick, so definitely want to hit on a couple of countries next year. And I am pushing towards flipping homes, so hopefully that'll be starting mid next year. Might be going into it with my mother. Because she ain't got nothing to do. No, I'm kidding. She does. She actually has a lot. She's a whole pastor and a doctor, and so she has.
But she's two Trinidadians. That's crazy.
She's actually Antiguan.
Oh wow. Okay, she's not so.
We have 2 doctors in our family. My sister is an OBGYN. My mother is a doctor. She's a reverend, and my brother does everything else. Like he does everything. He's a musician. He runs an amazing photography company. Like he does it all, right? But I went off track. Where was I going with this? Okay, so I'm gonna be flipping homes with my mom, hopefully.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So, all right. We'll start with where can people find you? Let's start with that one.
Okay, so I'll start from the bottom to the top. Okay. So from TikTok, on TikTok, you can find me at Evie Bernard #2. That's my TikTok. On YouTube, you can find me at Evie's View or Evie the MUA. They're both kind of linked together, honestly, which is crazy. But Evie's View. On my personal Instagram, where I have my makeup, artistry, and photography, it's only by Evie. That's ONLYBYEVIE. And my luxury hookah company that I co-own is Avisha, at Avisha Hookah on Instagram and Facebook.
Avisha,
EVISHAHOOKAH, Avisha Hookah. And for OBE Naturals, all the handles are OBENATURALUS.
Oh no, it's not. Well, unless you said naturalus, but no, that was actually you. You was doing so good. It's just naturals, right?
Just naturals.
Yeah, NATURALS. She got nervous.
NATURALS.
You got nervous that no, you threw it. No, you threw it. We're gonna review the tape. It was L.
Okay.
You got nervous. You got nervous. Arms were sweaty, knees weak.
I'm gonna call you Don Cheeto. We'll review the tape.
Yeah.
See what you really meant.
It's gonna be sad, right? But except it's gonna be the same thing. You said what we thought you said.
So and that's, you can find me on my regular Facebook. If you want to cut up, it's just Evie.R.Bernard.
Okay. All right. Very good. So yeah, and I feel like what I meant to also, but I think you included that, is like this on this site, I covering that. So like YouTube, the YouTube videos is typically what?
Everything. So on YouTube, I don't really do makeup anymore. I haven't done makeup in years on there. I do cooking. My cooking, everybody loves when I do that one. I do reviews, like unboxing. I just did one today for Ipsy, and I reviewed a Glam Xbox. And yeah, so it's everything to put together. So,
okay, very good. And then TikTok is you cutting
TikTok, I just be running these streets in TikTok. Yeah.
Wow.
Now I can't really do some of the TikToks that I really want to do because my kids are on there and they be like, "Mom, don't do that. Don't shake your butt." I'm like, forget it.
So basically, Evie is willing to be a ghostwriter / producer for somebody else who can wild out.
Yes,
you know, right? Like thought I was being funny, but like that would be a great idea. So
I actually think I could start making YouTube videos for people too, like editing them, because I'm getting really.
Oh, okay, you do. You was talking about that. Yeah. And that's the beauty. It's like it's amazing when somebody like dives in, and just you say YouTube University is so clutch. That's one thing I love about where we are now. Like I mean, intellectual property clearly still is a thing, but like there used to be a generation where like I needed to hoard stuff from you. I'm not telling you nothing about what I do. And now it's more like, I'll give you some game one because there's plenty to eat. Like you're not. I already know you're not messing with me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about tutoring. Like I can give plenty of game on tutoring. Y'all still not touching me with mad tutoring.
There's a way to get around. The intellectual property worker.
I do not. Are we talking about that? Are we talking about that?
Kind of copyright.
Are we talking about that in public or like?
It's public knowledge. So if you have an idea or a product or something, if you can't afford to go get it patented or trademarked, you actually write it all down and you mail it to yourself. You never open it.
Mm-hmm. I never heard that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad I've heard that, but I also forgot it. So that, nice little reminder. Again, you might be the person. Somebody, right? You might be the person. Somebody like, oh, that is right. Let me go do that. You know what I mean? So, but I think I think the one important thing, or the last major thing that I want to get out, which is very, very, very important, is you said I'm gonna do this. I want to talk about that. I got to sell this Friday. Girl, ain't nobody about to release this episode till like mid-December. So here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Is the things that you did say, like they're time gated and time sensitive, the little clips I'm gonna do, I will post those like soon.
Okay, you mean like a sale and stuff?
Yeah, you know, okay. Somebody like she's like, yeah, I got the sale on Friday. I'm like,
they're gonna be like, it's Friday. Like,
I meant Black Friday. Then you gonna be coming to me like, what the hell? So I got you. Like, I will be respectful. I can pull 40 seconds, 60 seconds. OB natural sales this Friday. But like, you thought I was gonna edit 65 minutes in 2 days? I don't know what you see. That's how I know. See, so shout out to Evie, the hardworking entrepreneur. I'm going to sleep. I'm not even gonna edit this one tonight. What are you talking about?
I still gotta edit the YouTube from Sunday.
Okay, you know what I'm about to do?
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, everybody.
I am gonna watch some TV with my daughter. I'm gonna watch a little, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, on Thursday. So shout out to hardworking, like dedicated, disciplined entrepreneurs. Because then there's
shout out to you for doing this.
Like for real, yeah. Like you, both of y'all being on both sides of it, absolute, joy to interview, but also y'all are good at this side of the, side of the fence too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to be able to do either one is telling, but to be able to be an entertaining guest and an entertaining host, like, that's what's up. That's big. So, thank you. I appreciate, y'all that, that feel like I have a platform, that do be excited, like, oh, you already, let me get on there and all that, and help make it better because of y'all's contribution. So shout out to you. I appreciate, for that. And it's the type of thing that keeps me, doing it, on my second season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been doing this, for 2 seasons. We're gonna try to get renewed. You know what? I'm making this the first season. I'm
the first guest of the first season.
You're the second guest on the first season.
Damn.
I know, it's not even you the first.
For a second, I thought I was a special guest, but it's cool. It's cool.
You're the blindest guest on season 2. Is that?
What? That's why I'm putting my glasses on. I'm gonna glare you right now with my
double glare bar.
Scott. What's Scott from Marvel? I can't think.
Oh, that's not from.
I love Marvel. By the way,
I might. You don't love. Wait. Oh, that is. Wait. I'm tripping. X-Men is Marvel. Okay. Now I sound stupid. Yeah. Now I sound stupid. I'm thinking of the chick. I don't know if you've seen that. It was somebody on the news. She's like, what do you all think? I love Marvel. My favorite Marvel character is Superman. It was like this.
Superman, bless her heart. You don't know the difference between DC, huh?
You said that in live TV, and nobody could. I'd have edited that so.
Oh, nobody said it.
Nobody said it. I'd have been the cameraman to laugh loud.
But sometimes it be feeling like Superman would kind of been better if he was in Marvel side.
Arguably, yeah, it would be hard to. I mean, and and I didn't know this. This is so we jumped off the rest. I didn't realize how bad off Marvel was. Marvel almost didn't exist like 2 decades ago, or more than that. That we almost didn't get this far to the MCU.
Because DC, you know about Batman,
right?
Superman, all that.
In the comic book world, DC is still beating the brakes off of Marvel. People don't know.
Really?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Animated shows. DC is.
I don't think that they do DC characters justice on
movies.
On not just movies, but TV shows.
Really? Oh, what? Okay, like the CW. The CW does not sound like a network that any of that stuff. That's the problem. No, these are some dark.
But the Marvel shows be good.
Yeah, maybe all right.
Maybe
all right. And then, you know, and then Netflix be like, yeah, that show was good. We're gonna go ahead and put it. But I think that was actually Disney, the whole Disney Plus. Anyway, we're not talking about none of that anymore. Evie, it was Evie was an absolute pleasure. Like we have both said, you will definitely be back. You know, both. I already told you both. Like, you know, the other 27 jobs you didn't talk about. One,
okay,
and two. And two, like, yeah, there's that common theme I already told you about, and we're gonna get quite a few of y'all, and I know you're gonna have some good content. That was a teaser. I ain't gonna tell them nothing about what we talked about. So y'all have a fantastic night, you know, or day or whatever time that you decide to listen to this. And this was the Smart Dub Podcast. I don't know.
Thank you. Bye.